Our body is made up of cells, and the cells reproduces themselves sometimes trillions of times in a day for us to survive. Just like electric circuit, our body, our cells have gene circuit, and let me explain it to you how it works. Within the gene circuit, we have a gene A, and the job of the gene A is very simple. When the conditions are tough, hunker down. Do not let the cell to reproduce. This is an absolutely important step because you do not want, when the conditions are tough, zombie-like cells or tumor-like cells to reproduce. Within the gene circuit, you have a gene B as well. And the gene B has a very simple job. When the conditions are right, turn off gene A so that the cells can reproduce. Over a period of time, because of mutation, gene B has assumed one more function, which is a very important function known as DNA repair. Within the cell, when the DNA breakage happens because of anything, UV light exposure or for disease state, when the DNAs are broken, gene B also goes and repair the DNA. But here is the catch. When the gene B goes for DNA repair, it turns on the gene A so that the reproduction doesn't happen. And doesn't matter whether the conditions are right or not. Since gene B will not be there to monitor it, it'll say, why don't I turn on gene A so that no reproduction happen, and it'll go and repair the DNA and come back. This DNA repair, where to go and how to repair it, is done by something known as epigenome. Epigenome is like a software which instruct all the hardware like gene A and gene B to function properly. This epigenome sits within the chromatin layer, and the job of the epigenome is to let all the gene know how they should express themselves within the cell. So it will instruct whenever there's a DNA damage for gene B to go and repair. Compare this to a situation when you have fire. Let's say there is a fire station, which is gene B in this case, and whenever there is a fire, the fire attendants are saying, go ahead and douse off the fire, and calling gene B in this case to douse off the fire, which is compare that to DNA repair. Once or twice it is okay because it will go and douse off the fire, and when it's going to take care of the fire, it will let gene A to express itself so that no replication happens. But if there are too many fires happening too many times, and if gene B is mostly engaged in dousing of the fire, it is not doing its basic job, which is to monitor whether the conditions are right for cell to replicate and multiply. And when that happens, aging happens too. Now, before I end this section, I want to tell you two more things. One, I want to explain to you that within this cell, we have two kinds of information. One is digital information, other one is analog information. Your DNA, which is the A, T, C, G kind of base 4 expressions, which is all of the expression that your body has, whenever it's replicated, it's like a digital copy. You can replicate it as many number of times, you'll never lose that information. Your DNA information never lost. It has also epigenome information, which tells how the cells should behave, what they should do. That is like analog. It's like a tape in a tape recorder. The more you play, there are wear and tear onto that. Similarly, when you replicate your epigenome, you keep on losing that information over a period of time, making your cell age. And when your cell age, your body ages too. So that's the concept I wanted to highlight. And I want to summarize this section now. You have a gene circuit, gene A and gene B. Gene A job is to make sure hunker down when the conditions are tough. Gene B has two jobs. One is to make sure when the conditions are right, replicate by turning off gene A. But it also helps in DNA damage. When it goes for DNA damage repairing, it will turn on gene A so that no reproduction happens. Combination of these factors, when you do not replicate well enough in the right condition, or you replicate in the wrong time, causes aging.